Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today is May 21st. I just generated these files from this old script that I tweaked for the Kraken exchange. Basically, I'm going to show you two files, an Excel file, crypto rank for the 18 crypto coins that you can trade in US dollar found on Kraken. On top of that, I also have a Word document using, now all the data I'm about to show you is only daily data. It's not hourly data or any other intraday data, only daily data. And then the other report I'm going to show you is an assessment on a daily basis on where probability of having stronger, better market calls for the next day or moving forward on particular coins. Once again, I want to remind you this is found on Kraken, the exchange, as well as all in US dollar. So let me first show you the first thing here. Here's the, actually it's 15 pairs, 16 pairs, all in US dollar that you can trade on Kraken. So again, if you've seen this before, everything stays the same. It's just basically the coins, just in coins. So right now I'm going to show you a couple things. You can see here what is trading the most over the last day or so. You can see by volume, if you want to really know. So if I sort again on column I, so we always want descending. Alright, so you can clearly see where all the volume lies. It's in this order of XRP, XLM, USDT, USD, EOS, and so on and so forth. The things that I'm very interested in are slope, momentum, and that sort of thing. So let's do a sort on momentum first. So that's column J. Okay, again, descending. So you can see here the momentum is highest in BTC, because I guess better performance, XMR, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, and USDT dash Litecoin. So this is essentially the pairs or the coins that are performing strongest based on momentum. As you can see also here that I give various harmonics. So you can see here some of them do have harmonics, bullish, and some are bearish as well. So do take note of that. Also, you can sort on column K to see which ones are the most volatile or which ones are the least volatile. So that's using column K, which is standard deviation. This is classic statistical info. So here we are sorting on least, it looks like the most volatile. So these are the most volatile, and these at the bottom are your least volatile. Okay, so again, least volatile is US Tether against US dollar, Bitcoin against US dollar, Qtum, Ethereum USD, and so on. So the other area that you might be interested in is in slope. Now it's similar to momentum, but this is using a different package. So this right here is using a TLib. This is using a classic statistical Python package, so it's going to give you potentially a different result. So again, we are going to doing slope on column N. So these are the typical things I would like to test on. So here you can see which one has the steeper slope, which ones has the negative slope. The only ones that have positive slopes is Atom, USD, XTC, and then Bitcoin still coming out of that negative downward move, big move last year, and then the better performance recently has offset this negative performance. All right, so that's pretty well it for that. So I'm going to show you the Word document now. So here, just to remind you, this is going to be part of my analytics. This will get updated every hour, so you can download it on demand anytime you want it, whenever you decide to join the analytics service. that service is, if you go into the Quant Labs store, and just right now it's very cheap, very cheap. So if you go in the store here, you'll find what I'm talking about. And there's different subscription levels as well. So we have here this one right here, the monthly or quarterly, whatever you want. So we'll come back to that in a minute. Anyways, let's get back to the document. So here's the document. These are potential buy signals on a daily basis. There's a lot of measurements that I use. If you've seen some of the older charts, I've taken a bunch out. Just do the data works differently on Ethereum, and it kind of looks uglier, I guess you could say. So here's the recommended pairs or coins in US dollar. So here's our first one is GNO USD. Typical, each one will have classic moving average, but there's these always have false positives. This one's somewhat important because it's a trend line. So you typically want to trade when your price is over the trend. In this case, this coin GNO is somewhat kind of useless. I mean, you can see the performance has come off so much and it's still underperforming. Even though it gives you these harmonics like a bullish butterfly, to be honest, I just wouldn't trust it. We also have automated head and shoulders. For instance, here, this is the expected move on the neckline, and this is the expected down move. You can clearly see it's broken through that expected move. That's why it's probably number one on in this report. The other thing that's very helpful are these candle patterns. So here we have all bullish. So maybe there is some legitimacy of this coin. I've not checked it myself, but I'm not seeing it. This chart here is one of the screwed up ones. I'm trying to remove it, to be honest. Fibonacci and trend, so I'm just going to ignore it. Now, these are the price moves over the last 180 days, last 90 days, and 30 days. I find this quite interesting. It has a lot of momentum. You can see here hitting the RSI, so this price will come off as the RSI typically will drop. So this is something maybe to watch if you want to do this all manual. So there's some potential there. Another pair that looks good is this Zcash. I haven't seen Zcash in a while. ZEC USD. Now, one other thing you can compare is I purposely have put in here what I call the group mean of, let me show you here. So this is the group standard deviation. This is how frequent the group volatility is for standard deviation. Okay, this is the volume as well. So you can always compare the individual coin against the group for both Fibonacci, for both volatility using standard deviation and volume. And also, in the olden days, I used to use Fibonacci for just valuation if it's worthwhile to buy. I've made it a lot more precise now using pricing targets, so hopefully you've seen some of those videos I put out. So again, here we have the Zcash against US dollar moving average. Downward move, it's starting to move above trend line. But again, it's just been beaten down so bad. Bearish pattern, I would ignore that, or I wouldn't really trade with that. But again, it's performing over the standard automated head and shoulder. We have here a bullish candle. Doesn't get me all that excited, but you can see here historically the price has been performing throughout May. That's probably in correlation with how Bitcoin itself is trading so well. Zcash is moving up, as you can see here on these charts. So again, let's see, our next one is Dash. Dash is an interesting one as well. It's trending above historical. Again, way down from the Fibonacci levels. It's just been beaten down so bad. Bullish crabs, head and shoulders. Yeah, it's below that. Again, I just ignore that one. Again, it's been performing fairly well since sometime in May. My system does pick up these trades, but these big bulls, again, this is using our daily data. So I'll show you one more. So we are dealing with Bitcoin itself. This is an interesting one. So we have our standard deviation. Again, you can check that spreadsheet as well as a comparison. You can see here it is coming back somewhat. It is definitely above trend. That's why you're starting to see opportunities here. Still too tight on a historical level, and I go back as far as I can to show you the overall performance of Bitcoin, and it goes back as far as I can. I think it's maybe 700 trading days, which is 700 days including weekends. So you can see relatively how historical performance is against the peaks. So we have bullish. Here we have automated head and shoulders. It's still below historical. Ignore that. Yeah, it's looking pretty good, but it's been up and down the last couple of weeks. But it's really relying on these big bar moves right here. We'll do maybe one more. Let's see what this is. XMR is another interesting one. Again, it's when it's trading it over that historical trend. Again, it's starting to hit the key Fibonacci levels from a very long ago historical. So here we have a bullish harmonic. Now, when you get the bearish, I'll consider them canceled each other out. The head and shoulders absolutely outperforming. Again, ignoring this. Performance very similar to the pricing of Bitcoin. Again, it's relying on these big moves, and then you get these big down moves as well the next day. So these are pretty hard to trade. Let's Ethereum Classic. Yeah, it's going to be very similar. But the ones to really pay attention to, I would say, are the candles, without a doubt. But that one at the beginning, that was a GNO. This one, GNO, I've not seen any. It's not been added to my watch list at all. I don't know why. But from what this is saying, from a historical point of view, it's potentially can be good. But I just wanted to give you a sampling of these reports, and you can just go over to my blog here and look for the latest article I just posted earlier today called Latest Deep Analysis of Current Cryptocurrency Market Signals with Spreadsheet. So these can be looked upon as daily signals with deep analysis. So again, if you want to get samples of this, I do provide some sample links right here. Crypto long based on trend, that's the Word document, and then the spreadsheet, the crypto rank as well. Hopefully this will help you out. Talk to you later.